All right, we are
What's happening,
live.
ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, everybody, it's Jackie and Rob. And as you can see, Rob is not at his house.
I'm in
He
the
over,
remote. I'm in our mobile office.
yeah, he is driving around in his automobile.
Yeah, this is
Nope.
this is the COVID show. This is
Yeah.
how companies have to deal with this. Teachers have certain things they've got to deal with like figuring out classroom and student contact and stuff and all that. We have to figure out. I was late getting out of an earlier meeting and didn't have time to get home. So
Yep.
technology solves the problem brilliantly. It's kind of cool to be broadcasting
Connected.
from my vehicle. Who knew?
Well, Rob, I know not that you can look right now, but when you go watch this again, I'm pointing to something here in the background that someone dropped off today. It is.
Whoa, that guy's fancy. Whoever dropped that off is fancy. As far as
Yes,
friends
very...
go, he's a keeper.
We're excited. It's in here now because it's going to be locked away until we can hang it on a wall.
Yay.
Because our children my children notice when things are different right away. They're like, what is that? Where'd you get that? Where'd that come from? You didn't go anywhere. What happened? They're very perceptive.
Tell them
these
that
ones.
Darth Vader, like Santa Claus, sometimes visits your house when you're sleeping.
Well, I don't know if that's going to work so well.
Yeah, he either cuts off your right hand. That's how he shows his love.
Well, so that would work if my kids weren't so young, maybe, because for Halloween, our preschool teachers told us about the candy witch. So you keep the candy that you want, and then I guess you put out candy, and the candy witch comes and is supposed to take all the candy away. And I told that story to my kids, and they did not sleep. They did not sleep that night. So they're sensitive to those types of stories. So we won't tell them that Darth Vader story. I did have a couple of announcements before we get off on tangents, which we often do. And forgive me, I'm in my office, and the new office setup has got like my webcam here and my monitor, but my monitor is connected to my laptop, and I don't have my mouse connected, so I have to like lean over to go get to my laptop. So in case you're noticing that I'm doing a little bit of a lean, that's what's happening. We wanted to officially announce, I know we said it last week kind of with Jennifer on the call, but we have our Microsoft 2019 courses available now. So if you are... So if you are...
We need music we can put in.
Yeah.
We need sound effects. Where do we get sound effects?
Yeah. Where can we get those? You guys are the Adobe
No, we got to
experts.
figure that out. That would be fun.
It would be fun. We should have somebody make us a little like jig. Is that what they're called? I don't know. A jingle? I don't know.
Jingle.
A jingle. Yeah. That's what it's called.
Brain.
Yeah. Pew, pew, pew. Sorry, I'm in a Star Wars frame of mind. Okay, so our Microsoft 2019 courses are available. They are on our site right now. So if you have a free trial, or if you are currently using our website for Microsoft, you should hopefully see it in your account. And if you are on Geometrics, I sent it to them. I'm sure that they are in the process of uploading everything, so I'm not exactly sure what day it will be available on Geometrics, but the material is there. It is in their hands, and will be available before school starts, that's for sure. So before you are back at school, it will be there for you. The other thing I can show them in a minute if we want to just talk about it for just a second. So we don't have our little logo up there. Look, done.
I can't really look.
I know you can't really look. That's fine. Please don't look. I feel like that's terrible. Look, Rob. No, don't do that. So we were talking, it's funny because Rob and I were talking the other day, and we were saying how we are in the process of making these new packages and making really kind of just changing the look of our website. And we've had a lot of meetings with different schools and with Certiport and with the different providers for our courses. And in order to show and present this stuff, we made a spreadsheet. And I have a picture of the spreadsheet that we used, so I should actually just pull it up.
You really need a picture of a spreadsheet. They all look the same. Okay, that is even a little bit better looking spreadsheet at least.
It's just a spreadsheet. It's just a spreadsheet. And we are in the design world. Like Rob and I taught design and how to market yourselves and how to be good designers and how to present material. And here we were presenting this material in spreadsheet form. And so we were pretty ashamed of ourselves when we were coming to this epiphany, if you will.
Yeah. It was like the next day we were like, wait a minute. What did we just do?
Yeah. It's called procrastination and preparation, I feel like. That was our problem and I think we really discovered it when we were doing the Certiport Certified Conference. And I don't know if anybody out there attended that. For us, the first day, it was so bad. We were I fully take blame for it because I was sent the information and didn't look at it probably the way I should have, didn't really review it the way I should have, and ended up the first day of the certified conference getting pings from the connection that we had. It was just my email that was set up. We kept getting pings from the email saying, where is everybody? Is there anybody supposed to be in here? And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And then we started our meeting like 15 minutes late. So sorry to anybody out there that's watching that was at the certified conference. So needless to say, we had 0 things to show anybody except for the actual site. And I feel like the site thankfully speaks for itself, but as far as preparation for a speaking perspective, it was terrible. Sorry. I'm sorry.
But you and I were there, and that's pretty much a party, instant party.
Right. I mean, you and I were there, and luckily we were both available to be there, and we kind of made it happen on the fly. And I feel like that's probably what we do as teachers a lot because, yeah, that happens a lot where you're voluntold to do stuff and you're like, yeah, cool, that's cool, I can do that. And then you end up doing a whole bunch of stuff on the fly and you're like, I'm an expert. Follow me, everybody. So anyway, we have changed the spreadsheet, so it's no longer in spreadsheet format. And if you want to see what it looks like, you just have to join us at our next webinar, because that's where I've presented all the material, or I have all the material to present for everybody. So we are doing a webinar next week. If you are a user, we're going to show you the back end of the site when you sign into your account, what it will look like. If you're not a user, we're going to show you the back end of the site in case you're interested in ever seeing what Brain Buffet is all about. So if you're interested in joining us for that webinar, you just have to use the contact page on our website. I can actually probably show it to you. Instead of me just talking about it, let me show you. And forgive me, I'm using a new thing. I don't know exactly what I'm doing on this thing. I've got my whole little setup here. I wish I could show you guys.
I'm doing the show from a car. You win.
True. Good
Propped
point.
up on the dash.
Good point. Look, William says, "Ha, that's funny." Hi, William.
What up,
right,
William?
Oh, I think I can show you now. I think I can show you. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So if you go to our site, if you're interested in doing the webinar, you go to our site here and you click on the contact form, And then once you click on the contact form, you can just shoot us an email saying, hey, I need to get the registration link for the webinar, and we'll send it over to you. That way you can join us, you can see the site. If you have not tried brainbuffet.com before, we'll give you a free trial so you can see it for yourself. So join us. It would be fun. That was our... It is so much.
If you have used Brain Buffet before, it's still a whole different experience now.
Yeah.
You took a year off and you went over to Geometrics. We were pushing a lot of people there because it was a better platform at that point.
Right. And it still is a good platform. And
it's an amazing platform.
And the reason why we were telling people to use Brain Buffet is because we just didn't have the capabilities of doing, at the time, we didn't have the capabilities of meeting the demands. So we didn't have the ability to meet the demands of the users that were using the site that were like, well, we want to be able to have individual logins for our students. We want to be able to track their progress. And we weren't able to do that. We were just like, okay, well, that sounds like a Geometrics thing. But now we can do those things, and now we're able to offer more for the users. So if you're interested, contact us.
It's crazy to me that this business even exists, because it was just this idiot trying to make his classroom website work for like lots and lots and lots of other people trying to figure it out every week. It was just such a disaster, when I got started. And then, you learn more, you hire people or whatever. But now to have like a team that's there all the time working on it, like all these like little revisions every day and little cleanup and little detail stuff that's way more than one person can handle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shifting the way the company feels to me, and I'm sure that for everybody it's going to just feel like a whole different product now. Really, the videos are the same, but it's so much different.
Well, and it feels more like a company. I mean, when I feel like I remember when we were first doing all of this before it became a Certiport used site, when it was just kind of in your classroom, it was just that. It was just a classroom. And I think what we should probably talk about in a future episode is teach, especially because the school year's coming up, show people how to kind of make a website, like a classroom website, a simple classroom website. Yeah. And even if it was just a live thing that we could show really quick to show a couple of different things, and maybe just do a small course of like, here's how we created our websites. I'm sure it's different now because we made our sites 10 years ago when we were just using it for classroom, but even just like WordPress, here are the couple of plugins we use that were really awesome. And, just something to help, because I think a lot of, I don't really know what the rest of the country is up to and how their school year is going to be, turning into, but ours over here in South Florida, I don't think we're going to be going back into the classroom. So we have Sarah is joining us. Hi, Sarah. She wanted to know, what do we do if we can't log in using Brain Buffet? So there are a couple of things there. The first thing I guess I have to ask is if you were a Brain Buffet, like an acatestprep.com user at any point, or if you were using Geometrics, because Geometrics is different than ACA Test Prep. They're two different platforms. So what you can do is reset your password. That's one thing. Let me just get into the homepage again and I'll show it to you. So if you had an account with us before, so if you were on either acatestprep.com or you were on aca.brainbuffet.com, your username doesn't work anymore on the new site. So you'll have an account with us, but it won't be the same username that you had on the old account. What you have to do is you go to the login page and click on the lost your password. and it will send you an email to generate a new password. So that's what my first recommendation would be to do. And then also check your spam or your junk mail, because sometimes our site generated emails get filtered in as junk. Oh, look, she said she already found her login. Look at that. But I will tell you, for anybody else who
Dang,
might
support
be the
is so
same thing,
fast at this company. See how fast our support. It's like incredible how good we are now. Jackie,
you're
you're
getting all riled up
incredible.
there.
I can't believe it.
So,
So happy.
If that doesn't work, though, you can click on the contact page. You can contact our support team. You can let them know I tried the lost password link. It didn't work. I can't find your email, and we'll try to find and locate your account for you and help you out there. But I'm glad you found it, Sarah. Now you just have to join our webinar, and then we'll show you all the cool goodies in the background.
And welcome,
yeah.
Sarah. We're glad you're part of the gang.
Let's see. I have used when you just watch the videos. I want to try your new platform out. I like Geometrics, but there were pros and cons. I think there are pros and cons to anything you're using. There's definitely pros and cons to using our site. Our site, we don't have the practice exams for Geometrics, so you'd have two separate logins, obviously. But that, like you said, you have to figure out what works best for your school and your program and your students, and then make your decision from there. So, but we're glad that you use us, and that's exciting. And yeah, we now have rolling out I always have a hard time saying this, 2020, 2021. That's such a mouthful. Rolling out in the upcoming school year, hopefully all courses will have lesson plans and project quizzes, and we call it just-in-time interactive video.
Comprehensive check learning,
such a long
instruction, assessment, intermediary, chronological.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we came up with this ridiculously long name for these questions, but hopefully we'll come up with a good acronym. So Sarah wants you to know she's from West Virginia. She'll understand. She said,
Hey, so
you'll understand.
Yeah, I bet we'll see her next week.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know if Erin is watching, but Erin Petrie is one of our favorites, and she was so excited for our webinar next Thursday. She came today.
We love you, Erin.
We love you, Erin. We got emails saying, "Aren't you supposed to start your meeting? You have participants." And I was like, "What? You do?" I called Rob and I was like, "Rob, what day is it today?" And he's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Is it the 23rd? That's when our webinar is at. Erin's waiting. What's happening?"
Yes. Jackie called me to ask a schedule question. How hilarious is that?
I don't think they know that's funny. I think that's an internal joke. Believe me,
I'm sure
it's hilarious.
I'm sure it's obvious to everybody. Ow. I just closed the door on my own foot.
Oh no.
All right.
Let's see.
But I'm home now.
Sarah says more. Yay. I love the lesson plans from before. I did the mosaic with my students and the self-portrait. Ooh, I loved the self-portrait. Listen, that self-portrait project, I'm sure, has evolved in the past however many years we've been using it, but I love that self-portrait project. That is for me, I feel like my students were the most excited to make themselves cartoons. Were your students very excited, Rob, to do that?
Yeah, I think the self-portrait was my capstone project also for Illustrator, because it's very difficult. It was kind of like when we were done learning the pen and everything. Yeah. And so it was the one that was like the most competitive, that everybody wanted it, like I want mine to be amazing. And we had such incredible art. But it's a very, very difficult project. It is impossible to do without total mastery of the pen to do it well.
Right.
So that was always the most fun for me, that one. I'm trying to get on the computer, so we've got a little bit, I can wrap up at least with the better audio and all.
Fine. Well, so we were actually talking about, I was actually thinking, I'm doing the supplemental material right now for the Illustrator project. And while I'm doing the Illustrator project, I actually found my CDs. I need to figure out how to get my information off of these classroom CDs that I have, because none of my computers now have a CD-ROM. And I have all of these great material. Like I have all of the lesson plans and everything that I backed up on these CDs. And now how the heck am I going to get it all off there? But anyway, yeah, so I need to send this list to you, Rob, because I keep coming up with these like ideas for projects for Illustrator, because that's what I'm working on right now. I really liked, which I know we haven't done, I don't think you did it in CC15, was that spooky scene. Do you remember doing
all of
that?
those? I do. I remember that those were also popular. The spooky scene, robot guy, trendy logo thing.
Oh yeah, the trendy. I got some really good ones with trendy logo.
Yeah, they were. Those were fun. And you know how that it just. I'd like to talk one day about just like how I came up with projects, but trendy logo is just like, how the heck am I going to throw 3D into a project?
Oh yeah.
And
at the time you weren't doing it for ACA because there wasn't a certification course, right?
No, when that one, when I recorded those, there was certification. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was the first time I did it. Yeah.
So Sarah said her students went absolutely crazy over it. About 75% printed it and framed it. That's exciting. What? We even had some displayed in our local student art display on time. The community loved it. That's awesome. See, those are things I like to see. I would love to see the pictures of the art display. That's awesome. And then William said,
"Are you on your Mac?"
Yes.
Can you send me the link to the room, and I'm going to try and get in on my Mac?
Yes.
Because I have to go in that back door one, right? I can't join the.
I think you can. Hold on. So William said his students liked the project. He makes it harder. Wait, sorry. I'm trying to do two things at once. He makes it harder by having them first complete it in Photoshop with the pen and then later with Illustrator. Ooh.
Oh, never mind. I got it already. Yours was there.
You have it already?
Okay. It wasn't there first, and then it just popped up.
But
all right. Yeah, let me hop out a second, and then I'll hop in on the other one.
Okay.
All right, give me 1 second.
Bye, Rob. Yes, so that's what I was thinking. I know he's going to be back in just a second. Look, there he is. Look at that. Look at that.
What up?
We got the full transition.
Dude, that was, that was crazy. All right, so, but guess what?
That's now we know we can do that.
We can do it.
Yeah.
We can make it happen.
We didn't know it could be done, and now we know it can be done.
We got it.
I hope. So anyways.
Something.
He
first completes in Photoshop with the pen. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Huh. I'd like to see some of those. Yeah,
me too. I want to see the artwork. We need to figure out a way, Rob, to put on the to put like a art submission something or other on our site. So Sarah sent us an email in May or June, and we were supposed to set up a teacher talk, but I've been so crazy with trainings I haven't responded. My schedule's been clear. Oh yeah, well, anytime. Send us a send me an email, probably not Rob. Or I mean, you can CC Rob. Just make sure I'm on the email somewhere.
Probably doesn't even matter if you CC me. Pretty much don't check.
The information will get to Rob as long as the information comes to me first. That's pretty much how this business relationship works.
Jackie runs this joint. So Jackie is in charge of everything. Jackie, you guys need to know Jackie's.
Yeah, not that much in charge. I just pretend to be.
This company would absolutely collapse if Jackie was not here. Guaranteed.
So yes, teacher talks. So those are the couple things. Oh, that's a great thing to say. As if I should just say it. Sorry. Teacher talks. We are thinking about doing, since especially because like we said, we don't know at this point in South Florida, at least in my county, they still don't know what they want to do in a month when school and teachers are supposed to return. So we were thinking about conducting not virtual meetings, but like guest speaking in classrooms virtually, especially because we don't know how the travel situation is going to be, and we don't really want to set something up to be in person necessarily. We would love to be in person, and that was our original goal pre-COVID, but shake things up a little bit. But we do have Zoom, which we can definitely use with your students, and we would love to speak to students. We would love to see their artwork. We would love to just get their feedback as well, because as much as we love the teachers, really we want to make sure that we're reaching the students and making sure that we're palatable for them, in addition to being resourceful for teachers.
Yeah.
Those were big vocab words.
They were. You get a cookie.
I can hear people jingling my door. I don't, you can just have a good enough vision where they might be sticking their fingers soon underneath the door.
Awesome. I used to have this cat, and when she was really wanted to get in the room, you just see this cat arm through the door.
Kids and animals are funny.
Yeah, and awfully similar in many respects.
Yeah.
Kind of odd.
Yeah.
Oh.
Always want attention.
Teaching me a lot about how humans work. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see it now? Look, see, I'm pointing here because in my mind, in my vision, the picture is over here, but on the camera, it's over here.
I can see it. It's looking very imperial.
Yeah. And Eric set up the webcam, but it says his GoPro that we're using for our webcam.
Really?
Yeah. So there's
Good.
A GoPro setup. I wish I will probably try to take pictures of it maybe and show in the next live chat, so that when you're doing this, because if you have to teach virtually, you need to set up a little studio, and that should be another one we do. So it should be that, and which should be, what else do we say? This is terrible. If I don't write it down, I forget it.
You forget it.
Oh, the website, right. Make your own website and how to set up a little virtual studio if you need one. So yeah, we used an old GoPro, and he has a monitor set up for it. And we have our microphone that's right out of shot. And yeah, I'm going to have to get a good background, because my background right now is out of control.
And this is my new thing. I used to always use that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So same thing, microphone just out of the shot.
And,
yeah. Really enjoying the way this sounds. It's not hooked up right now, but I really like this. It's just a lot more freedom, and it was a terrible when the mic's in your face, especially when you're looking for the keyboard shortcut. I'm always
well, yes, I have to admit my microphone is in front of the keyboard, and that's prohibiting me from I don't want to be voiced right into the microphone. So I'm kind of I've got zombie arms when I'm typing.
Yeah, it will be fun because everyone's going to need it now, right? How to set up the studio.
Yeah.
And a lot of the background stuff, I just watched YouTube videos, how those, the young YouTubers set up their bedroom.
Yeah.
I just stole a lot of those tricks.
Yeah.
And then, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, same. So, I mean, that's how we got this set up here. We don't have a fancy background yet, because, we're not there yet. We're getting there. But look, so I'm actually sitting in front of it. Look.
You know what?
See these boxes? That's our standing desk. The boxes.
Oh, fancy.
So we're gonna, I think we're planning on taking the legs off of one of these desks that are in here, and we're going to make it a standing desk so that it raises. So we have one stationary sit desk and then one, non-stationary standing desk, because I'm not in here all day long, obviously, but my husband, who's working from home still, he's in here a lot. So he wants to be able to stand and move around and everything. So there's that. Let's see, Sarah's great on making. Oh yeah, Zoom backgrounds are great. When we have our weekly meetings, I should do it for the webinar too. When we have our weekly meetings, I change it because I'm a Disney fan. If you guys didn't know that, and my backgrounds change from Disney thing to Disney thing.
Yeah, and what a cool student project for them to make their own background.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. And I just realized I think this mic is hot. You guys hearing that?
I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So I didn't even realize that this is hooked up. I think my son got in here and did his dad a favor. So, of course, yours sound really good. Oh, but you're on the Yeti. Yeah. Yeah. It's a big difference, ladies and gentlemen, when you change from the built-in mic and camera. Like this is the MacBook camera, which happens to be pretty good. And Jackie, you're probably on a MacBook or iMac.
I am.
Well, you got the GoPro, you said.
I have the GoPro. Yeah, that's true. I am using my Mac, but it's kind of more of a like side item. I don't think it's a real, it's not the real, like, I'm not using the camera on the Mac. I'm using the GoPro camera. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm using the Mac camera still, but I didn't realize that man, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it is. Are you using the Mac camera?
That's a Mac camera. Yeah. Oh. This is on the new MacBook Pros.
Oh, that's nice.
For built-in, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a new setup, and once I get that going, then I'll next week it should be really different. You'll see. I'll be looking slightly off camera. I'll be kind of like one of these, but it should look really great.
Yeah. So next week, just to remind everybody, because I know I said it like 3 times, but I repeat myself a lot. I have young kids. I say things over and over again. We are doing the webinar next week at 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't know what the EDT stands for. I'm having a moment of, I don't know what that means.
I just say that's Eastern Daylight Time.
Eastern.
But I'm not sure if we're in Daylight Savings Time or if we're in the whatever standard time.
No, I think we're in Daylight Savings Time. I don't know. So it's 11 a.m. Eastern. We're in Florida, if that helps anybody determine what time we are in, time zone we're in. But so 11 a.m. next week, we're also going to be doing a live chat. Maybe we'll be showing you our studios so that way you can kind of get an idea of how to set up your own little studio. I know that I can show you actually both where I sit when I'm doing when my husband's in the office doing work and I have to do a live chat or a webinar or whatever. I can definitely show you pictures of that, as well as the office, because we have to work together. We're both working from home and we have to juggle like who gets the office when, and it just is a delicate balance that we're all trying to accomplish while we're all home. So maybe we'll do that next week. We also want to show you how to make your own website, which I think would be a really cool thing. And yeah, we just want to help you guys get set up for the upcoming school year, whether that means you're in class face-to-face with the students, whether that means you are sitting at a desk helping your kids while you're at home and they're at home, or some sort of hybrid, because I know that a lot of schools around the country are trying to do some hybrid model. So we're here to help, hopefully.
Yeah.
If not, you can chuckle at us as we stumble through everything. You can say, those 2 weirdos, I'm not doing it that way.
And hopefully feel comforted in the fact that even when this is like your business and you've got like extra resources that a teacher often doesn't have, it's still stumbling through, man. That's the point. That's the point. Stumbling through is the learning process. It's the creative process. It's the growth process. The only way to fail is to try and like lock it down and figure it all out before you start stumbling. Then you'll just always have like this really cheesy first thought that popped in your head kind of idea that would work. And the cool stuff happens when you just keep churning it up, man. Like you did the same thing, I think, as me, Jack. Like every year I changed my program. It worked perfectly fine.
Right.
You know, you're number 1 in the district and blah, 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 blah. And I'm still like, yeah, I'm changing everything though. Like, cause maybe I'll stumble into something better.
I mean, I pretty much had the skeleton stayed the same, but cause it gets, I don't want to say it gets boring, but it does get kind of monotonous when you're doing the same projects and you're seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I think it just morphed because, as the software changed, then you could do different things and you could kind of do new stuff. And you're like, ooh, look at kids, look what I found. So, it just, I mean, it changes. And like I said, the skeleton remains the same, but you change the bits and pieces that fit it. So, yeah.
And one of the things I'm excited about, we talked about this the other day, and I'm interested in teachers giving us some feedback on this. But I would like it where kids send in like challenges. Whatever. Yeah, that then, hey Rob, try and do this, or hey Rob, I'm trying to figure this out. And they send their Photoshop file, and and I just kind of like walk through it and make fun of kids and stuff.
Yeah.
If they're super,
there's a lot of things we want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we want to have your suggestions on what kind of projects you want to see, because I know somebody at some point said movie poster, and I'm still on it. I still have, what could we do? Which programs could we use? I want to try to do multi-program courses, like, or maybe not just courses, just projects. Like you start, like William just said, actually, where you start something in like Illustrator or InDesign, and then you kind of move it over into Photoshop and say, okay, we want to tweak this thing over here or do this thing over there. Because that's how I did it with my students. As they would learn more software, I'd say, okay, well, these softwares are all semi-related somehow. So you can use them. They're you can use them in multiple things. So that's something I would like to do. I feel like I always think that I want to do all of these things, and it's just me thinking those things sometimes. So I'm like, well, how am I going to make all this fun stuff happen? So
that's exactly how I used to feel about our website.
I know. But now we have a team. Yeah.
I know. I think
now we have a team.
Get the gamification thing. I really hope we can just roll some kind of that in.
Yeah. So we're working on it. We're working on a bunch of new things, a bunch of stuff that's coming down the pipeline, but it's no longer Rob and I working on it. It's people that know what they're doing.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I got this great idea, and I don't even have to figure it all out and research for 3 months, and then try different plugins to see which one will work with our setup. It's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that they don't ever say no.
No.
They're like, we could look into that. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. And then they never come back, and like, whenever they say that, I'm just kind of like, okay, so they're gonna come back and tell me like what the limits and blah blah blah. But instead, they just like come back and like, oh yeah, it's done. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Awesome.
I know, I love it. I know. It does feel fancy. It feels fancy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are just at the mark where we are probably going to sign off for today. But again, we are going to be back next week. The time is to be determined because our webinar is in the morning. It will most likely be somewhere in between the 4 p.m. or after stage of the day, Eastern. We're in Florida. So just keep track of us here, either on YouTube or on Facebook. We also put out our times, I think, on Twitter, but I don't think you can watch it on Twitter. So just follow us at any of those 3 places and you'll find us. So we will talk to you next week. Hopefully we'll see some of you at the webinar. If not, we'll see you in the live chat.
Yep. Hi. Peace, everybody.